Hi, I'm Jenny from the Missouri Star Quilt Company. Take a look at this cute little quilt behind me. Isn't that darling? This is made with little black dress fabric by Moda. Basic Gray makes it, and this is their second, Little Black Dress 2. And I just love this fabric. I love the colors. It's just beautiful, beautiful fabric, and everybody needs a little black dress. One of the fun things that I've been noticing lately is people are doing a lot of things with zippers. You know, zippers are becoming a fashion statement. They show their teeth, they use them on the fronts, they use them on the backs, they're using them in jewelry. Zippers are the cool thing. So we decided to make a zipper quilt, and just want to show you a fun and easy way to do that. So to make this quilt behind me, what I did was I used one charm pack and about a yard of black fabric. Now what we're going to do with this charm pack is we're going to cut it in half and make 2.5-inch strips right here, just like this. And so if you want a bigger quilt, you could even use the jelly roll. A jelly roll will give you about a twin size quilt, but that's just an idea for you. Today I'm going to show you with a charm pack. So I have my yard of black fabric right here, and the yard is going to make all the little squares, and it's going to make all the sashings and this first border. So what we're going to do is we are going to cut our yard. We can just go ahead and cut the whole thing into 2.5-inch strips if you want, or you can use a black jelly roll. I often keep a black jelly roll handy. I love that they're already pre-cut. So I'm just going to cut a few strips here, and you'll notice on my fabric, this is a whole big yard right here. Let me show you. This is the whole yard piece. And I just fold it in half because then there's less cutting area and there's less a chance of my rotary cutter getting a mind of its own and going crazy. So I just go ahead and fold it in half. I make sure that it is lined up evenly, that my selvage edge is lined up straight across the top, and that I'm lined up on my mat. If you find that when you cut a long strip it has like a little elbow, it's because your fabric isn't folded straight. So just check that. Cut one and check it. So what I'm going to do is cut these into 2.5-inch strips, just like this. And you can go ahead and cut your whole thing because everything you use is going to be 2.5-inch strips. But then we're going to cut some squares. And how I like to do my squares is I like to put a couple of my strips just in a row like this. And I'm going to go ahead and cut off the selvage in the fold like this. That's a little wasteful, but I know that out of each 2.5-inch strip, I'm going to get 16 squares. So that's a lot of squares out of each strip. So then I just go ahead and move over and I cut both of them at the same time. This will speed up your cutting a little bit because what we're doing is we're cutting 2.5-inch squares just like this. So then we're just going to stack these over here in a pile because we're going to be using those, and it looks like I can get one more cut out of this. There we go. And then we've got to get our charm pack ready. So the charm pack, basically what we're going to do is we're going to take our 5-inch squares from the charm pack and we're going to cut them in half. So you can stack up about 4 of these if you want, but it's going to give you a 2.5 by 5-inch rectangle. And then to the end of each rectangle, we are going to attach a square. So we'll put that on here like this, right sides together. We'll sew our 1/4 inch, and let me go do a couple of these. We'll go over to this sewing machine and do these. So here we are. And again, do your 1/4 inch, just make sure it's consistent. And you can chain piece these. So once you get all your charms cut and all your squares cut, you can just bring them over here with your stacks and you can just chain piece them one after another, and it goes together super fast. This is a really fast quilt. I've seen it done in baby fabric too. It's just so cute. All right, now you want to press these back and you want to iron to the dark side. And I'm going to just press that back, roll it back. There we go. And then we're going to lay these out. Now this is a little different. This layout is a little different than a normal quilt because we're going to lay this out in vertical rows like this. So I have 19 in each row, but depending upon how many pieces you have, you'll just divide that by the number of rows that you have. And so for this quilt, there's 19 in each row. And what you're going to do is you're going to lay out your pieces like this, and then you're going to put the next one just opposite. So here we go. Here, let me scoot these down here a little bit so I can reach them. And then we're just going to do like this. See how those are going together? Just like that. And then you just start sewing the row together. When you get your row together, you're going to take, let me cut off one more 2.5 inch strip here so I can show you this sashing. What do they say? Measure twice, cut once. I wish I could say I always remembered to do that. I've made a few boo-boos in my time. And then this sashing strip right here, we're going to leave these whole for these middle pieces right here. And you can see one strip will do the whole length of the quilt. So that makes it really easy to sash. So let's go ahead and sew a few of these together so you can see what I'm doing. What's really nice about this, no seams to line up, nothing. You just lay them right sides against each other. And when I'm doing this kind of thing, what I do is I sew sets of 2s, sets of 4s, and I just chain piece them and keep going down and sewing them together. So make sure they line up. No seams to match at all. And I'm going to sew 2, and then I'm going to sew 2 more. And just make sure they're going opposites. And here's the next one. Make sure they're opposite and make sure they're lined up. So then when I get all my sets of 2s together, whoops, then I'll come along and I'll sew them in 4s. So here are our 2s, and you can press these. I'm just going to finger press for a moment. Make sure they're opposite, and now we're going to sew them together to make groupings of 4. And you just lay them right sides together and do the same thing. Make sure they're opposite, make sure they're lined up. And you're going to make long strips, 19 of these in a row. And then we're just going to iron this open right here. Just like that. And I kind of like to iron the front first, and then I like to go along and just make sure they're all those seams are laying down the same direction. So then you have this piece like this. Now yours is going to be long, and then you're going to attach your sashing in between your rows. So when you go to attach sashing, you're going to put it right sides together. You'll sew all the way down one side, attaching this whole row. Then you'll attach it to the whole next row. So before you know it, you're going to have a darling little zipper quilt that looks just like this. So the next things you're going to do is you're going to put your border all the way around the outside. And again, you're just using these 2.5 inch strips. And then the outside border, this is just a 4-inch strip of fabric, and you're going to need 5 of those. So for your outside border, 4 times 5, you're going to need 20 inches or about 3, I'd probably get 3/4 of a yard. So we hope you enjoyed this tutorial on the fun and easy zipper quilt from the Missouri Star Quilt Company.